There you go. There you go. Here we are. We got Andrew in the studio. Listen to that crowd, and we're ready to start episode. I'm going to call this episode 6B, and I'm going to tell you why, Andy. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I had scheduled Christian Chichi, one of the owners in the league that I actually had beaten last week. I thought he'd be a great guest. Had our producer reach out to him, set everything up, work with his, you had to send an email. You couldn't send the link on his phone because of the Android. So I sent an email like 6 times. Would have been perfect. I had an echo in the background. He texted me about the school's Wi-Fi shutting down.
Oh.
So I'm going to post episode 6 with Christian. It lasts about 6 minutes, and most of it's me getting pissed off at Christian. But you do see him in his lab coat and the whole
That's
thing.
great.
But it's a mess. There's echo. It's a disaster. But I think some of the owners would like to see it. But I really didn't get into anything with him yet. I started talking a little bit about week 3, and then the whole thing just fell apart, as you'll see when I post it. But before we get into the football, Andy, I wanted to just I'm sure you noticed my outfit for the podcast.
Yep.
I was lucky enough, which made sense to have Christian's daddy had gotten tickets right behind home plate last night at Yankee Stadium. Great walk-off victory to clinch a playoff spot. The place went nuts. We stayed the whole time. I drank. We were down. Oh,
God.
Who is that? Who is this joining us now? There he is. There he is. It's not going to last. Just so you know, we're going to lose him halfway through. Look at it, froze. See, it's frozen. This idiot. There it is. Look at this Wi-Fi. Oh, I can't even look at him. It's just brutal.
His PhD is not in communications.
Look at this campus Wi-Fi. So anyway, as I was telling Andy, Christian, welcome. You can hang out and do whatever if you want to talk, you talk. But I don't think this is going to work. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
I'll just be here.
There's the echo.
Yeah,
You hear the
so
echo?
that's why I gotta have my mic muted.
There you go. Just mute yourself. There you go. Good. So anyway, so now you got me all sidetracked. So Christian, I'm going to post our episode, let people see it. And I said to Andy, this is episode 6B because that was such a disaster. My producers go out, check everything out for you. Anyway, I'm furious at Christian, but his daddy did get me great seats to the Yankee game last night, about 5 rows up behind home plate. Didn't get a foul ball. They gave out hats last night, which was awesome. I got myself an Aaron Judge jersey. I got your daddy a Don Mattingly jersey. Great night and clinched the playoff spot. But I ate because I was down in the first class section. I ate hot dogs. I ate hamburgers. I ate sushi. All the candy I could eat.
It's the same thing that happened when we went to the Mets game with Colin.
That's right.
It was the same system. It's by the end of the game, you need like 3 days off.
I was beat up. Anyway, so I just wanted to explain my gear. Usually I come on, I'm dressed to the nines, and I respect the episodes and the league. So let me just give my intro, and then we'll get into week 3. And if Christian wants to chime in, he can, but God only knows how that's going to work. So here's what I had written in my notes. I tried to reach out to Christian, get him on the show. His camera didn't work. His phone is a Android, so I had to email him the link instead of just through his phone. Echo on the call. His laptop stopped. Plus his laptop, see how it says, I don't know if you can see the screen, it says Pat. So his laptop is identified as Pat with his.
That's who I thought it was.
It's probably his mommy's laptop. He probably stole his mommy's laptop.
Pat 3-1. It's in reference to his future record next week.
Whoa.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
I've underestimated you because of the failure that you've been, not only on this episode, but generally in your whole life. But if that's true, Christian, I'm impressed with being able to label your laptop. I think it's just your mommy's laptop, and that's why it says Pat, because his mommy's name is Pat. All right. So anyway, I'm done with Christian. I wanted to kill him. I look, he's drinking on set. Anyhow, I'm going to get past it, Christian. I'm going to get past it, and I'm not going to get into it. But what I will say, as we get towards the end of the episode, I had tailored my questions, Andy, around having Christian as a guest. So you're certainly welcome to chime in, but it's going to be more geared towards Christian because he was the anticipated guest. And in fact, I did send a link to UG to see if he could join because Christian was such a mess, and then Andy popped up. And Andy, just one note: you were on episode I want to say, was it episode 2 or?
Yeah, episode 2 in studio, and then the first time we did an online.
Yeah.
Me and David and Maddie joined, and
Yeah.
it was great.
So you made reference to New York City behind you, I think, right?
Yes. Coming
It's
to you
Philadelphia. You know, it's Philly behind you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Philly.
It all
Is
looks
that
the same.
Philly, Christian, is that Philly or New York? I think it's Philly. Or Dallas. It might even be Dallas.
To me, it
No, it's
could
Philly.
be Houston too.
It could be Houston. It's not New York City. I think we can agree it's not New York City.
Well, I'm coming to you live from whatever city that is.
There you go. I like it. Okay, so Cheech, let's get into, and again, talk as little as humanly possible because I'm ready. My head's ready to explode. Plus, I'm hungover. I'm tired. Right.
Yeah.
I worked all day like a crazy person. So week 3 results. I'm going to go through them kind of quick because I want to get into matchups for this week. And as I referenced in my very short episode 6 with Christian, or I don't even know if this was with Christian now. I'm so tired of rehearsing and trying to get the show out. We're almost we're about 20% through the season, right? We're through week 3, which is crazy. And I think we're starting to see some teams that are not so strong fall by the wayside. Some teams that should be better record-wise, not performing where they should. And then we're seeing some dominance, obviously, from Ryan's team, which is just, I think it's one of the best teams we've had. But I'll get into his specific numbers in a minute. But game 1 I'll cover is I go to 2-1. Christian falls to 1-2. He sits Pearsall, which to me, I don't know if it was because Purdy was out. Right? What were you thinking, Christian, behind
it was
Pearsall,
a little.
who had a really
It was
nice
a little
week?
bit because Purdy was out, and I wasn't sure how much Mac Jones would be able to feed him. And it was also I wanted to give Brian Thomas Jr. one more chance, and he killed it. He killed it. He's on my bench now. He's done. He's on bench treatment after that performance because, I mean, looking at the numbers, Brian Thomas Jr. has not scored more than 22 points in a single week. Pearsall has not scored less than 22 points in a single week. So that's an easy decision for moving forward.
Yeah, and that's why I asked, why would you sit Pearsall? And you just talked yourself into a circle by explaining why you would. Exactly. Well, I don't know what he's thinking. Anyway, it didn't make any sense because you still should have played Pearsall based on what you just told us. Anyway, I trounced you, embarrassed you, 357 to 291. My bench, as I referenced in our very short episode, Pittman is really starting to perform under Danny Dimes, which I love. One note I will say, Penix is out, similar to Christian's comments about his team. Penix was dropped. Bad attitude, couldn't perform under pressure, didn't get me any points. I'm sticking with Geno. And I also saw some people make some moves where I might make moves to pick up some of the people that they dropped. But Penix out. Geno in the starting lineup until further notice. I did want to get Dart, but I think Mikey picked him up, even though I think that's it's a long shot because I think he's going to get the garbage beat out of him. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Chi-Chi, just on your team real quick, and when I stop talking is when you talk. Otherwise, it's echo, and I want to kill you, right? So you have some injuries now. McMillan, Thompson Jr., Stafford, right? Not good. Stafford stinks. You making any moves? What are you doing with your team that's falling apart?
I'm not worried about the Wednesday injuries. Typically, these guys come up on the Wednesday report, and then they're fine on Thursday. So I don't really give much to it today. All these guys that are questionable today. If it persists, then it becomes an issue. But hopefully Xavier Worthy comes back, and we'll see from there.
What's Worthy's status?
Right now, he doesn't have a tag. So that means he practiced in full today.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, mute yourself. I'm getting echo. There you go. All right, so let's move on to this is the surprise team of the year so far because he's 3-0. He's being evaluated for I'll just say it, brain damage. He has a bad team with a good record. He's 3-0. Here's his numbers.
Team sucks.
He won with 235 in week 1, 314, which is fine, and 226. He's 3-0. He plays Chi-Chi this week, right, which is good for Chi-Chi because I think if you score 240 points, you're probably beating him. Then he plays David Jr. and then UG. So he could be because Christian's team's not good. He could be 6-0 and still be an incredibly bad team. And I'm going to go back later in this episode. We're going to talk about who I think is going to make the playoffs, and I got something to say about Pat Jr. But crazy 3-0 with those type of numbers. And so enough about Pat Jr. I have it down as the GOAT, and I think what I'm going to do going forward is I can't call Matty the GOAT anymore. We have controversy around championships. He's underperformed. His team is absolutely awful. So he falls to 1-2. He's got to dump Stroud, who stinks. His other quarterback, is Fields, who's hurt. So I don't know what he's going to do. CD is hurt, out for a few weeks. Probably Dallas is awful. They can't run the ball. He's got Travis Hunter in his starting lineup. I think he had 12 points last week. And his injuries are
every
bad.
week.
Yeah, he has 12 points every week. He's playing both sides. His injuries are adding up, like I said, with Fields. And I don't know, even though usually around this time of year, right, if Matty starts out having a hard time and Mikey starts out having a bad time, I see their daddy interjecting stuff. And what I saw on the wire is they had a trade. This trade, right,
Terrible.
is a terrible trade.
Terrible. Helps
nobody, right? But I will tell you as commissioner, I'm going to watch those three because I can guarantee you as UG fails, which he will, Mikey fails, which he is failing, and Matty continues to fail because his team stinks, they will do some shenanigans, those three.
It's not even Uncle Gary. Matty and Mikey have notoriously made trades with each other mid-season
100%.
that boost one team to the Super Bowl and one team to irrelevancy.
Yep, exactly.
And it's happened like 6 times over the course of our history. It's unbelievable.
So, believe me, it won't happen anymore under my watch. So the trade, just so everybody knows, the world knows, J.K. Dobbins. So his daddy gave up J.K. Dobbins for R.J. Harvey, Debo, who I like, actually. I checked if Debo was hurt or something, but Debo's better than any of them, and Aaron Jones, who I didn't even think was still in the league.
Dobbins has been good. It's just Uncle Gary is making the trade hoping that Dobbins gets hurt, which I feel like is a flawed reasoning to make a trade.
It's not
because anyone in the NFL
stupid.
Can get hurt at any point. Like
it's
just
flawed,
like it is what it is.
Stupid, Andy. It's stupid.
RJ Harvey in a 10-man league, if he was on waivers, I wouldn't bat an eye.
No.
Debo Samuel,
I like Debo.
He had a bad week. He had a good first 2 weeks, but he came to training camp chubby. He says,
Debo might be Matt's second best receiver that he just traded away.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, he's better than Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Matty's team is
Travis Hunter plays.
And that's why I said I'm not calling him the GOAT anymore.
So.
Yeah. No, I am done calling Matty the GOAT, and I'll have him on here to tell him that in person.
I hope he goes 1-13.
I want him in studio, and he won't come in studio again now. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he does all day. It doesn't work.
No.
Right?
He's studying for the SIE.
Anyway, I don't know what that is. So Ryan, so let's go to the next game. Enough about Matty. Matt. I'm going to call him Matt going forward. I'm not even going to call him Matty because that sounds like I like him. Ryan versus Johnny. And my comment here is just Italy, international travels back and forth. Johnny's an international traveler. It's too much for his team. He lost focus. He's 2-1. Still has a good team, I think. I like Johnny's team. Ryan's team is, like I said in the intro, one of the best teams I've ever seen. I'll give you his numbers, then I'm going to let Chi-Chi chime in. He looks like he's chomping at the bit to say something. But
oh,
God, help me!
Randy,
help me!
Oh, God.
Oh, God, help me! Your phone is sideways. Your phone is sideways.
Well,
I
want to be in this episode, but I can't.
Maddie's got his girl. Well, she could be in it. She could be interviewed. I don't know if she's got the skin for it.
She cannot be interviewed.
No,
so we're in the. Okay, we're in the. Let me wait a.
Wait.
Wow. Wow.
How you doing, Committee? Good to see you.
Doing good. So
I really wanted to get. I thought maybe you were going to send a car my way. I just got out of an Uber, flew into Monmouth County Airport from Connecticut, and so I thought maybe you sent a car. I'd be here when I got home, but it wasn't. So I made some pork chops, and now here I am.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through quickly. Can you hear me all right, though, over there?
I hear you great. I think I hear everyone. Christian is in the lab. And, Andy, sorry about the beatdown.
It was a tough week.
Had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go over some of the parameters, and I'm just going to highlight what we've gone over already, and just so you know, and that, don't talk over the commissioner. So what I'll say is, you'll see, I'm calling this episode 6B. I'll explain that. I'm not going to go over it again, but I tried to get Christian on. It was a disaster. I wanted to kill him. But now we're here and we have Andy. Christian's work, it seems to be functioning properly. Actually, the picture looks better. I went through a couple of let me see if I went through. I don't know what you're doing over there. Let me see
before
if
you start. I just wanted to interrupt for a second because
Yep.
we are looking at sponsorships, aren't we not?
Yeah, sure.
So
Well, we have a
before
good amount, but yeah, sure.
well, I do that, bro, with me, and I just thought maybe just put them on air real quick. Nothing signed yet, but let's give them a look out. See if this is the kind of stuff you're looking for. I just wanted you to get a look.
I don't know what
You know,
you're talking about.
Shark, Land Shark. Who I got.
Oh,
Ryan's
okay.
going to be in charge of trying to land that account. Then I got, let's see, who's that? Oh, Zen Leaf. We got that for the Vapors. We got some good stuff that Mikey stole. The Knicks. I'm in talks with the Knicks and the Sixers, so I don't know exactly how that's going to go. But
All
then,
right.
of course,
Well,
you're welcome to my cave, by the way, guys. We just have some
Yeah,
stuff that's up.
I
there.
see you
Some
have
fun
old
stuff.
trophies. Yeah, it's some
So-
old trophies from when you yeah.
Oh yeah, well I'm just down in the basement. I had no place else to put them. I ran out of bins trying to pack the trophies away, so I
Yep.
left a few
Well,
out.
pack them away. So, I just want to go back. You got your first win this week, right? Who'd you beat up? You beat up Maddie?
Andy.
You beat. Oh,
I
that's
get-
right. You had Ferguson. I'll get to that. Yeah. Let me
Number one tight end right now. You do know
Let-
that, right?
Yep,
He's
let me-
the number one tight end.
Well, he had a great 1 week. So let me go through a little bit. Let me go through a little bit before you keep jumping in. I went through a couple of the games. I was just talking about Pat being 3-0, and I don't know how much you study the league like I do or the other owners that are on the call. But Pat's numbers through week 3, he 235, 314, and 226, and he's still 3-0. He plays Chi-Chi this week, then David Jr., and then he plays you. So he could be 6-0 on a bad team.
I'm happy for Pat, and you should. I wish Pat was here because it's a question that I would love for you to ask him. But he's not here. I don't know if he's going to join in. If somebody wants to reach out to him, but something happened with Pat and I before this week's game.
Okay.
That to me, it showed a lot of character on his part and a lot of knowledge on his part. And again, I don't know if I want to expose it. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that was pretty cool. And I'd rather him tell the story, but if you want me to tell it, I will.
Well, you've already got. So, well, I don't think anybody really cares about the story, but go ahead, tell the story.
Well, I got a text from Pat. It was, I guess it was either Friday or Saturday, about another league that he's in.
Oh,
He had a conundrum about who to play, this guy or the other guy, and I took a quick look and I thought about it for a minute, and I gave him the recommendation, and the recommendation turned out to be a huge, huge victory for him.
Okay, so just I don't mean to,
all I'm saying is you have these champions that are they're 20-something-year-old champions.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Telling me how I need testing, and then when one of their compadres, one of their cousins, needs advice, who does he go to?
Okay, so I don't mean to interrupt you. Couple quick points, right? So we didn't get you in studio before. You're not supposed to drink on the podcast, right?
Oh,
and just so you know, we never ever. No one cares about other leagues that we're in. We don't talk about. I don't care what Pat's doing in another league.
Oh
He scores 220 points and he's winning. So
you're smarter than that. You know that the story I told has nothing to do with the fact that he's in another league. It has to do with this group of people and who an insider would reach out to for help with an outside league.
So,
not the 3-time champion, not the lab guy, not you. He reached out to me. So that's I'm very pleased with that. I appreciate his respect.
There you go. Okay, great. So why don't we dive into actual something about the greatest league ever, and tell us what the thoughts are behind the blockbuster J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, Debo, Aaron Jones trade.
Well,
why don't you take them all and just?
You're using the word blockbuster sarcastically, correct?
100%.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't understand the overreaction. All I'm thinking is, listen, if I have to play Dobbins, I'm in trouble. So I'm not playing Dobbins, but you know what? I think Dobbins will go down for a 3, 4, 5 week period, maybe for a season, who knows, with a knee, at some point in the season. And then Harvey may be incentivized to, all right, let me go play now. So it's just looking to upside later in the year. Get rid of a guy I don't want.
Okay, that's
I
what
wouldn't start.
I don't understand. So the trade is based on one of the players getting hurt.
No, it's based on the fact that I'm always looking to make my team better overall. And like I said, maybe in 3 or 4 or 5
who's better?
or
Who's
some
better?
point in the season, maybe at some point in the season, like I said in the text, Harvey's going to be
Who's
a good
better?
fit for that Denver offense.
Who's better
Not
right
now,
now?
not
Who's
today. What?
better right now, Dobbins or Harvey? Who's better?
Who's a better player? Who's a better
Who's
fantasy
better
player?
right now? I don't care about player. I care about fantasy points.
I do. I do care about players, and I do take into my algorithm and mine and my son's algorithm. Which, by the way, I
Who's
was
better
up on.
right now, Dobbins or Harvey?
If I had to play him this week, I would take Dobbins.
Okay.
But who would I rather have on my roster? Obviously, Harvey. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. Let's see how the season plays out. I'm not saying I didn't call it a blockbuster. I just called it a roster adjustment. And I added a player and got rid of a guy that is hurt. And I've been banged up by injuries again, like I have been in this league since I got in here. But hey, you got to overcome that stuff. I'm not.
You absolutely do. So let's move on a little bit, and then we'll get into some other stuff. I think you've answered without me asking the question of any type of what's the word Matty used in episode 1? What was the word he used, Andy? Do you remember the word he used to describe the potential mental deficiencies? Or I forget what word, but you've kind of answered that, so we don't need to go down that path. But let me get into. I mentioned a little bit about Ryan's team. 3 weeks, he's 3-0, 468 points, 381, 358. Plays Andy in a must-win for Andy. Plays Mikey with a must-win for Mikey then. And Matty could be a must-win in week 6 for Matty. Have you ever seen a better team at 3? And I'm going to go to Andy for a second on this, and then I'll go to Christian, then I'll come to you. Have you ever seen a better team in fantasy football right now than what Ryan has right now?
We've had some really good teams. It's impressive. JSN was a hit. Puka Nacua. People were worried about Stafford preseason. I certainly was. And Stafford looks fine, and he's slinging it to Nacua. His quarterbacks are good. Obviously, he has Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry's not even playing that well. And
I know.
He's putting up
He's
these
playing
points.
horrible. I know.
And James Cook is somehow like the RB1 so far. I think it'll slow down to an extent, obviously. And I think he'll lose this week to me. But his team's really good.
Okay. Christian, anything to add on there?
I think he ended up, we said at the steal of the draft, Devontae Adams in the 7th round, and he's like a top 10 wide receiver with Puka Nacua, both on the same team.
Yeah.
It's crazy, the synergy that he has. And yeah, Derrick Henry is not playing well, and he's still scoring 350-plus points. Yeah.
Who beats Ryan, Christian? Who beats Ryan?
I think Andrew has a chance, but he's going to need another terrible week from Derrick Henry. He needs a terrible week from Derrick Henry, and then he needs Jordan Mason to go off for 2 touchdowns again.
My guys show up, I'll win.
All right. Well, it should be a good matchup. Andrew, what are you, 1-2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not calling it a must-win, but... Yeah.
Week 1 was my team put up like 200 points, and then week 2 I played great. I had like 360, and then last week Jamar Chase lost 48-3 in a game.
Yeah.
It's just like he got crushed.
Yeah, so
Bengals looked awful.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned with the schedule coming up, Andy's a huge game for you. To go 1-3 is just brutal. You're a quarter way through the season and you're starting to panic. Mikey shouldn't even have won. He should be 0-3. He got lucky with Flowers not catching anything, or Baltimore just playing awful. So in week 5, Mikey, if he doesn't win, he could be 1-4. And then Matty, whose team is just awful on paper. And Garrett, just so you know, and if I know Matty's still there, I decided that I'm not going to refer to Matty, and not even Matty, I'm going to call Matt as the GOAT any longer because I just don't see it. I think he's lost some of his fastball. I think he his head got too big, and his team is it's one of the worst teams I've seen next to your team. But I'm not going to get into that yet. But let me just so let's just go to the next game. So
I thought you were going to give anybody a chance to speak there. What am I? I'm here to listen.
Well, no, I just want to go through. We're going to go into predictions. We're going to go into matchups.
Then you went to them too.
Well, we're going to go to matchups. We're going to go to matchups in a minute, but I want to get through week 3. The way I usually position and it's my show, is what I do is I go through what happened this week. I go through predictions for next week and talk about the matchups. Oh, I think we lost him. He just left the
He's
studio.
out.
That's it. He left the
Rage
studio.
quit.
But let's just get into that for a second. I
It's
think
classless.
it's classless. As I said, a sign of, I don't want to call it dementia because it's not that, right? He's not, but is hostility and anger, right?
Ooh.
And clearly he's resorted to the bottle. We saw that. He referenced
Can
some
I
type
just
of
say that
substance on
land
his-
shark was full when he first showed it, and it was dead dry.
Didn't stand a
Yeah.
chance.
So well, Christian, if anyone wants to talk about, we don't say land
Oh,
shark, we say
yeah.
Corona. So we're going to get into that in a minute, Christian, believe me. But so just another second, let's spend on UG, who like I said, and I'm going to have Matty back on. I'm not going to have UG back on because he's inappropriate for this podcast. That sign of anger and impatience and drinking, I think he's checking off, 4 to 5 boxes that you check off for someone that needs to get some, maybe get some attention and maybe even be in some type of a structured environment. I'll put it that way without getting too detailed. But I don't know. Why don't we do this? Why don't raise your hand if you witnessed something that I just described, right? I mean, come on, right there we go. We got 3 hands in the air. So let's
for the viewers at
yeah.
home, David and Uncle Gary are actually brothers, and it's dangerous to hear a brother talk to another brother like that.
Well, I appreciate it, Andy. I appreciate that. I will say that he is not as older than I am as it appears. But again, that's another sign of that there's something going on up top. So let's leave that there. If maybe I'll have Matty or Mikey back to talk about that. But let's go to David Jr. versus Mikey. It was a brutal loss for David with Flowers not showing up. And what's his face? Lamar was throwing passes. I mean, he threw a couple targets to Flowers, but they were just awful passes.
He had like 290 yards.
Oh, Baltimore looked awful. David falls to 0-3, and it's a typical David season with just bad luck. Mikey has a team full of.
Oh, he's back.
He's back. Okay. Well, I can't block him. So I'm just going, Gary. I'm just going through Mikey and David's game, where David should have won, but Flowers just didn't. He just had 8 points, I think. Lamar threw passes that made no sense over his head. I had him open a couple times, whatever it might be. But a tough loss for David. He falls to 0-3. But Mikey's team has a bunch of players that score 30 points. You got Bucky's. Josh Jacobs now is hurt. He's questionable. Jordan Love is hurt. Swift is hurt. So Mikey's team, his bench is horrible. It's not a deep team. And I will say, I think it's time for Mikey to panic a little bit. But again, I'm going to watch some of the trades between Matt, Mikey, and their daddy, because sometimes as we talked earlier, when you get late in the season and one of your boys need a little help, you tend to hand him a player or two. He plays you. So Mikey plays you this week, Gare. Then he plays Ryan. Then he plays me. And if he loses this week to probably one of the worst, statistically the worst owners we've ever had in this league, he'll fall to 1-3. And then he plays Ryan, which he won't beat with that team. Then he plays me, which he won't beat. He could be 1-5. Mikey could be. And your household, Gar, just to point this out, at the end of, let's say, week 6 could be, I'll say your house is 4 and, what is that, Christian? Do the math real quick. 3-18.
4-14.
4-14 after week 6. That's my prediction. 4-14. Your house is 4-14 after week 6. And I mentioned this earlier, Garen. I'll let you speak in a second if you can calm down. I don't want to blame Rowe. I don't. But I don't know what else to do at this point.
Well,
Mikey's been consistent year after year, and then he hooks up with this girl out of Long Island, and his team falls apart. So you might just want to have a little conversation with one of your little boys and tell him that he's going down the dark road.
Got to get his priorities straight.
Get his priorities straight.
Yeah, well, listen, all this you can see ahead of time. I mean, Ryan's team, I don't think has a weak link. You tell me you ever see Ryan do anything that didn't have a weak link to it. I mean, he's focused.
I will say Ryan's weak link is his bench. His depth is not good. If someone gets injured,
Compared
I
to
hope some of his guys
Yeah.
get hurt this
compared to
week.
whose depth? Compared to whose depth? Nobody has a deep team. Ryan has the best team by far, to me, without any injuries than anybody. But I'm going to be there battling him, and I got as good a shot as anybody else right now at this point.
Okay, and all valid points. Now let's go. I think Ryan's
Yeah,
team is phenomenal. No, let's go to the upset of the week, right, Garen? This is you, right? So you crushed Andy, crushed him,
Yep.
who falls to 1-2, same record as you. He made a trade that he described as sodomy to his daddy.
No, Maddie described it as
What was
that.
his trade? I didn't. What was his
Lad
trade?
McConkey. Everyone loved Lad McConkey. I didn't like him. The guy had a bad attitude in the locker room, and I traded him.
Well,
Andy's
your guys
team,
aren't doing that well either. DK Metcalf stinks too.
Well,
Dak Prescott's done with
I-
CD out.
Listen, Andy, I would not give up DK Metcalf for the number 3 receiver on a team.
There you go.
Well, when I traded him, I thought he was the number 1 wide receiver.
One receiver for the team that's going to throw the ball a lot because Jalen Warren he's not going to run the ball 30 times. So you got a receiver who's going to get a lot of targets for a guy who I like, who's a poor man's Cooper Kupp. I get that, but he's also got Quentin Johnson doing big things and Keenan Allen still getting 10, 12 targets a week. So I don't know if I would have made that trade, but listen, you're free to trade whatever you want.
So, yep, and I'll just say, right, and I'll call this a roller coaster, and that might be the title of episode 6B. Someone who talks, well, he's got a fresh one now. Someone who talks about fantasy football the way you just did, I would think would be better than 9-19. That being said, let me finish my comments related to your game this week, which you won. Right?
Okay.
Andy's team, in my opinion, will make the playoffs. Right? Eugene's team will not. J.K. Dobbins, Ferguson, they had a great week.
Well,
and it made it entertaining for the other owners. But it doesn't get easy for Andy, who plays Ryan UD next 2 weeks.
I don't
Right?
understand your logic, though. Can I just ask you a question, Commish?
Yeah,
Not to the commissioner, but team owner. I'm going to ask you this question as another team owner, okay? And you're my brother, and we're in the league together. Have fun. So forget the commissioner half for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But how could you make that last comment, right? And now I forgot the point I was going to make.
Well, there you go. Up, there's a check that box. Have you ever made the playoffs? Have you ever made the playoffs?
It just kind of came about that I found out the value of a guy like Dante Achane, who got 25 points for making 1-yard catches.
Okay,
then,
so are you saying
hold on.
Yep.
So just think about this for moving forward. I know it's not going to happen this year, but in your scoring ruling, whatever your authoritarian commissionership allows you to do, you may want to just not give 2.5 points if you get a catch and a 3-yard loss. Just saying. It's almost a mistake.
Do you think that example impacted your 9-19 record over the last 2 years? I heard it doesn't make any sense.
My 9-19 record, you know what I really can put it to, and I kind of do the same thing this year, so I got to battle back, but I'll learn from here going on. Is I won a lot of championships playing in these high money leagues with
we don't care about any other league.
And 2 quarterback. I'm just explaining. You asked me a question today. Let me explain it.
I don't think I asked you a question.
2 quarterback league too, but we were a regular scoring system. And I won championships, came in second, came in last sometimes, yes. But overall, I had a very successful. I'm in it, still a very successful run. So I've just been off with your scoring and never really tried to figure out the math to it and anything like that.
Okay,
but Gary,
good players score points. You get good players on your team. They score points, and then you win a game.
Yeah, but points are different. Like I said,
surgery, brain surgery here.
A guy like Achane who could end up a top 2 or 3 running back last week to me is ridiculous because he didn't have a good week.
Okay. So let me go back to.
Do you want me to go through the math?
Yep.
Well, that's what Jake Ferguson did for you all week.
How many balls did Jake Ferguson catch for a loss?
He had like 13 catches for like 50
How many
yards.
balls did he catch? I asked you a direct question. How many balls did he catch for a loss?
I think his yards per catch were pretty similar to Achane's.
How many balls did he catch for a loss?
I don't know.
It doesn't make
None.
any sense. Your argument doesn't make any
Who's
sense.
the number one rated
There-
fantasy tight end right
The
now?
yards per catch were probably about
In
equal.
a regular PPR league, you still
Yeah,
get a
but
point
if you
for a
compare to
catch
tight
when they're
ends,
negative.
right?
It doesn't matter in this league whether it's a point or 2.5. It's just
I'm just saying that's something we could look at next year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I said. Can we look at it next year?
I'll definitely look at it. I'll definitely look at it. I think I'll definitely look
It
at it
bothers
because
me.
it's something.
It bothers me. It bothers me.
Okay, it duly noted. So let's go back to great victory this week, right? It was an upset of the week. Now you play your baby boys back to back, and could send them
Yeah.
crying to their mommies, like they did when they were in high school, right? So any thoughts on playing the boys back to back? Gare.
Well, all right, give me a minute here because they are
All
my
right. Well,
boys.
I'll go on. You think about it. You take in my
I
question.
go. Right. I'm ready to go because it's your show that brought up not only my mental capacity.
Well, first off, Gary, your
but,
son brought up your mental capacity, not me. Your son, Matty, episode 1.
Listen, Dave. These kids don't understand it, but I see how you manipulate them. I know the words you use to get them to go in a certain direction. I mean,
I will replay the episode. I
know
listened
that.
to it 5 times.
It's your enthusiasm for the subject that you're the host. You talk 90% of the time on the show. So I'm just saying, I'm not blaming anybody for anything. I think it's funny. I got a kick out of it. But Mrs. Crawl down here in Man Squad and Lorianne, everybody, Kathy, they want to take you out.
Okay.
But
they can come on the show if
know
they
it's-
want to. If they can come
funny.
on the show, I'll tell you what. We'll play this episode, then they can come on the show, and then we'll see what they have to say.
Well, listen, I'm trying to calm them down. I'm like this country needs to be calmed down, right? I'm not going to go say I hate everything.
So
hate them.
let's go through the standings through week 3. Right? We got Ryan and Pat Jr., believe it or not, at 3-0, which is crazy. I'm 2-1. I'm probably one of the best teams other than Ryan. And Nipples is at 2-1. But Nipples is fallen by the wayside. He's in Italy now. I don't know what he's. I see Johnny losing focus. Then we have the 1 and 2s, right? Matty, Andy, Chi-Chi, UG, and Mikey. The only I'm going to get to my playoff predictions. Chi-Chi's team is bad. Gary, your team's awful. Mikey's team is awful. I think Matty's okay. And I think Andy's team is pretty good. I don't know what's going on. And I will tell you right now, this is my prediction of the year. At 0-3, David Jr. will make the playoffs. He has probably the 3rd or 4th best team. His power ranking after the draft was top 4 or 5. He's just gotten bad breaks. But he's going to make the playoffs. If he doesn't panic and doesn't start making some trades. What's
You got
that?
bad breaks. Welcome to fantasy football.
Well, I'm not saying. Listen, he's 0-3. It is what it is.
Right.
Everyone gets bad breaks. It
I
is.
lost by 1 pick.
How many points did you have?
Everyone gets bad breaks.
If you lose by 1 point with 220 points, it's not a bad break. It's a bad team.
No.
Okay.
What I'm saying is you're saying David's getting bad breaks. And I said, well, I lost my number 1 draft pick, the second game of the season. So that's not bad.
Well, everybody's got injuries. Everyone has injuries. That's how you have to you get
David
on the waiver
doesn't really
wire.
have injuries.
Listen,
Jaden Daniels missed a week.
What I'm saying is a bad break in a specific game out of 18 weeks of play is microscopic compared to losing your number 1 draft pick and your starting quarterback. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yet you will excuse David for his record because of bad breaks, but you won't give me a break for being 1-2 when I lost Burrow. That's what I'm saying. You can see the bias in the host and with the guest. I got to be honest about it.
I completely agree with you, Uncle Gary.
Okay.
All I hear is this: David gets bad breaks. People get injuries. He doesn't have any major injuries.
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels missed a week.
Flowers getting 8 points.
Excuse me. I think Ryan
Flowers
Rose
getting
has
8 points.
Last year, I lost for the season, leading to a lousy record. Yeah, but ask him how much he having Nakua on his team.
Puka
You're
takes
too close
many
to
hits.
the
He's going to
camera.
get hurt again.
Christian, let me get your thoughts on well, not only David, but give me an idea of looking at the first 3 weeks. Who's out of the playoffs? If you had to choose, if you had to look at it now, who's out of the playoffs?
If I had to look at it, honestly, the one team I'd say is completely out is Matty, unfortunately. CD going down at the worst possible time for him. And I gotta say, I mean, this might be behind the scenes offer. He was offering me 3 players for Breece Hall, and I said no because I don't want anyone on his team. He's
panicking completely.
And he's playing for J.K. Dobbins. He's made the
Nice
trade for
laugh.
J.K. Dobbins, who's now his second best running back on his team.
Yeah.
It's
Brutal.
it's not. It's,
Give it up for the crowd tonight.
Who else doesn't make the playoffs? You got
well,
Matt. You got Matty.
I'd probably say the next one is Uncle Gary. Unfortunately,
I mean, listen.
Okay.
For a second.
Okay,
That's fine.
wait a second, Garrett. Wait a second, Garrett. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Hold on a second.
Garrett.
Let me just say something.
Garrett, who doesn't make the playoffs, Garrett?
Why are you predicting playoffs after week 3? I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk about other than playoffs? I mean, we're a long way. What's about the playoffs?
Who doesn't make the
Playoffs?
playoffs? After week 3, who do you think doesn't make the playoffs?
Week 3. Who's going to
Okay.
know who's going to make
All
the
right,
playoffs?
Andy, who do you think? We all agree Matty's
I
not
got
making the playoffs.
I got a hot take. I think 3-0 Pat misses the playoffs. I think he's the first person ever to go 3-0 to miss the playoffs.
So that's funny you said that. I had Matty, Yuji, and I did have Pat Jr. out of the playoffs. I
think Pat's team
totally
sucks.
agree. Yeah. And I think Mikey
He
does.
beat me
I don't know if
week 1
Mikey
and my
makes.
team dropped a dud. But, I mean, I don't think his team's that good.
there's a lot
and I
of
think he'll be the
1
first team to
2
start
middle of the
3-0.
pack
Yeah.
teams. Anyone can kind of
Yeah.
sneak into the playoffs. I think from that.
Yep.
I might win out.
So let's go. That's perfect segue, Andy. Let's go into and we're running
All right.
really late. Let's go into
Andy just said
matchups
he's
real
gonna-
quick. Well, I don't listen
Andy.
to that. Let's go into matchups real quick for week 4, right? So first, I'm not going to get into my matchup because it's I'm going to win, right? Johnny's team's not going to be paying attention. So let's get into
He's on Italy
the
time.
week 4 matchups real quick. He's on Italy time, exactly. So I'm just bringing it up on my phone. We'll go quickly through that because we're really running late, and I want to get into some final segment with Chi-Chi because he was supposed to be the guest, and then we could have Yuji back on to go through the same segment. Andy, can you pull up the
I got it. I got it
the
up now.
matchups? Go ahead.
Yep.
Avoid mine because nobody cares about mine. But
All
what do we got next?
We got Matty versus David. Winner. If David wins, he's 1-3. If Matty loses, he's 1-3. It's 2 bad teams right now.
What's the
this is a big
projections right
week.
now?
Matty's projected to win by 17.
Oh, really?
But Matty's got a lot of questions. Justin Fields, I don't know if he's going to play or not.
I know
So
he's
that's
still,
kind of a
he's
big
still
one.
questionable. Who's
And
his
he's still
backup
going
to Fields?
C.J.
though?
Stroud and Marvin Harrison.
Oh,
He doesn't
God.
have
Who's
a
his-
backup to Fields. He'll put
He
someone in the super flex that's not a quarterback, which is stupid. It's I don't know why anyone would ever do it.
Oh, Matty's just like I said. I'm not calling him the GOAT anymore because he doesn't know what he's doing. So, Garrett, you any opinion on that game, real quick?
On the game you just talked about?
Yeah.
No opinion.
Okay.
All right, next up is we talked about it earlier, Mikey versus Uncle Gary.
Oh boy.
Mikey's a heavy favorite in the early projections.
What do we? I got my phone back up. Let me take a look at it.
69% already.
So, Garrett, why don't you defend? Maybe
But
it's
Neighbors
because
is questionable. You know?
well, maybe it's because some of Mikey's players traditionally catch passes for negative yards. Garrett, maybe that's why he's
Mikey's
at
got some inflating
69%.
projections.
Can I teach the boys something right now?
Just tell me about the game.
About
How do you
that?
think your matchup? How are you going to beat Mikey? How are you going to beat Mikey?
Well, I think this is a very, very, very interesting matchup, and let me tell you why. If
Yep.
you look, of course, if you have the game open and you see that
I do.
the only advantage they gave me was at kicker. Mikey, I've never.
I don't.
Yeah, but
I
those
think
are just-
Mikey's
those are just
projections
percentages.
are
Hold
so
on.
inflated.
Those are
Hold
just
on a
project-
second. I'm not
Go
done.
ahead. Go ahead.
Done.
Yep.
Okay, which to me is astonishing that I've never seen that. I don't get one receiver, one back, one quarter, nothing. I get nothing. But if you look at it, more than 50% of Mikey's players will be on the road this week. And if you look at road stats compared to home stats, they really come down. Where I have only one player on the road, or 2 players actually, which are Keenan Allen at the Giants and their kicker, which I think both of them will probably have good weeks. So and Deebo Samuel. Everybody else is home. And I don't think that, the system of whatever they have predicting what the score is going to be makes much to me if they're not taking home field. I mean, Kyler Murray against Seattle looked really good defensively at home right now. Are they going to be as good? Is Murray going to, maybe put up 300 yards, maybe 100 yards rushing? We'll see. But I don't expect Seattle to be as good.
Christian.
Yeah.
Mikey UG, who wins? Less than 5 words.
Mikey, Josh Jacobs is playing the Cowboys, and he might go off for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He's got a Q after his name, too.
He's questionable.
Yeah. Well, you don't like that if you know.
All right, Gary,
I already gave my
what's the
opinions
score
on
of
the
your game?
questionable tags after Wednesday. They don't mean anything.
Yep. Gary, what's your score of the game, Gary? What's the final score of your game versus Mikey?
Is this episode 6?
6B. What's the score of your game versus Mikey? Final score. What is it?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because I think Mikey's going to have a bad week. So I'm going to say I'll have 310 to probably 275.
All right. That's I have no.
I can see it.
I will say, and this is a compliment. This is a compliment. That's the first credible thing you've said in the last 45 minutes. I agree with your prediction.
Come on.
I agree with that prediction. What? Let's move on. Let's move on. Christian, did we talk about you and Pat Jr.?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Why don't you give me some thoughts on your game against Pat Jr.?
That's a snooze
I
fest.
think that this will be Pat's awakening into the real world. I have Breece Hall versus Miami on Monday night. I think that's going to be a slaughterhouse. I got a shootout projection for the Patriots and Panthers, and I got 3 players in that game. Those defenses are terrible. I know Atlanta looked bad against the Panthers, but that's a divisional, and Penix looked terrible. And by the way, just to defend the Drake May preseason slander, he's a top 5 quarterback right now. So,
okay. Well, it's week 3. So,
Colin, the Christian in the group text.
Colin.
Maybe I was wrong. Drake May. He looked good to me just with my eye test. He looks good to me.
He's played Vegas and Miami. 2 of the first
yeah,
3
but
games.
Andrew, look at his schedule rest of the season. It doesn't get much worse.
I know. Yeah. No, he's good.
Is Worthy healthy? Does he start? Do you put him in your lineup?
I think I'd have to give him a week. Pearsall's playing too well, and I'm not playing him over Stafford or Brock if he plays.
Well, you got question marks. So let's say Nico or McMillan or Pearsall.
Oh, then then I'd probably either sub in Worthy.
Okay.
Because I can't play Brian Thomas Jr. with the way he's playing right now.
No. And what if you lose? You go to 1-3. You start trading everybody?
I don't know about everybody, but definitely would be shopping around some players that haven't been performing.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's go to where did UG go? Christian, mute your thing so I don't have feedback. UG. Nope. So let's go to Matty David play. There. Yep.
We talked about this.
We did talk about it. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked. And Andy thinks he's going to be Ryan. Andy, you're at 37%. Just to give you a little heads up on that.
Yeah, I do have I got one worry about my team. Jamar Chase is on the road versus Pat Surtain. It's a tough matchup, but Jamar Chase is going to get his no matter what. So hopefully, and I got Jordan Mason in London, which is always worrisome. But,
so I'll give you a piece of advice, and I think Eugene's going to chime in as well. I would literally trade Jamar Chase right now. Trade him.
Okay.
I was going to say you might sit him. I mean,
well, I'm not going to sit the best receiver in the NFL. You trade him because some nitwit like one of your boys is going to take him everything.
I'd rather play Jamar Chase and he lets me down than sit him.
Okay, let's just see if there's a couple people on your receivers on your bench that may, in the end, bring you more points and a chance to win a game.
I actually don't know who to start at my second receiver.
Got the season to win games. I got news for you, kid.
Yep.
I'm not sitting Jamar Chase. So
Andy, you're gonna upset.
I don't see the argument here.
Okay, same question to you as Christian, Andy.
Is that Denver? You think Jake Brownie's going to have a good game in Denver, huh?
He doesn't need to have a good game for Jamar Chase to.
Andy, you're 1-3,
what?
Same as Christian. If you lose, what are you doing? You dumping?
Everything's on the table. I have Rashee Rice on my bench who comes back week 7, and he'll be great when he comes back.
You've been talking about Rashee Rice. If you're 1-5 or 1-6 when he comes back, who cares?
Go ahead. I have to make a point before you move the game. I have to.
Go ahead.
Andy, you just traded for Ladd McConkey. You have him at the Giants, which he may not get a sweeter matchup.
Well, I'm still thinking about my second receiver. Myers plays a bad defense too.
You're not going to sit Jacoby Myers at home against Chicago. You can't.
Exactly. That's why I'm not playing McConkey.
Chase sits.
Okay, we'll see.
All
McConkey.
right.
By the way, I traded for McConkey like 3 weeks ago. I didn't just trade for him.
Gary, you're trying to talk sensibility into a guy who still has Tony Pollard on his bench. Still has Tony Pollard on his roster.
What's wrong with Tony Pollard?
Talks about Tony Pollard nonstop. Well, I don't need to go through my bench.
You've been talking about like Rashid Rice, like he's going to come back and he's going to win 9 straight. I mean,
since
he's
week
a top
1.
12 wide receiver when he comes
the problem
back.
is that Rashid Rice was the first, second pick or third pick is because Mahomes spreads the ball out. He always has.
Rashid Rice through 3 weeks last year, he averaged 25 normal points a game.
Why do I keep getting talked over? I'm trying to make a point. I don't think he's going to be the savior for this team.
I'm not going to need a savior because I'll be 4-2 when he comes back.
Well, you're close to being 1-3.
All right, so I'm going to give you a quick, even though Uncle Gary doesn't want to talk about playoffs anything, because listen, we play 14 games, Gary. If you drop a couple more games, you're going to be out of the playoffs.
So if I go 2-2 next week,
then you're back. You're part of the conversation.
Hey, listen, it's your show, your ratings. You want to talk playoff predictions in week 3? Yeah, ahead, go for it.
Yep. So I'm going to tell you I'm going to give you my seeds for the playoffs right now.
I think you'll miss the playoffs.
Okay. Okay. I have a 6 seed, David Jr. And we're going to go back to the episode. Part of doing this, Gary, is that I can go back to the episode in 4 weeks or 5 weeks and say, hey, this was. In fact, let's go back to episode 2 where Matty was 0-5 in his matchup predictions.
Yeah.
That's why we talk about it. So we can go back and say that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So I'm going out on a limb. David Jr. is going to be the 6th seed. Chi-Chi's going to be the 5th seed.
Do you want some side action on David not making the playoffs?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, Dave.
I'll give
Mikey
you 2-1.
will be the 4th seed.
You give me 30 seconds. I'll run off 5 winners this week in our league.
Okay, I'll get there in a second. Nipples is the 3rd seed. I'm the 2 seed with Ryan, the 1 seed. Him and I get a bye. That's my predictions for the playoffs. So Pat Jr., UG, Matty, who else is out of there? Andy,
Mikey,
first time ever not making the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm out. I thought you said I was in.
No, Chi-Chi's 5th seed, Mikey's 4th, Nipples, UD, and then Ryan. David Jr. is the 6th. Well, you guys are going to be you're going to be 1-3, Andy. So I don't know what you're.
I hope you miss the playoffs.
Well, I hear you. So I think Gary's still looking. I don't know what's he going to give us matchup predictions. Just go quick, Gary. We went through the matchups. Go ahead.
I know, but I'm just going to give you. I'll give you 5. Like Matty went 0-5.
Yep.
Let me try to redeem my son. Go 5-0. At least get the family to 500.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead. Fire away.
Oh, I will beat Mikey.
Okay.
Rick will win.
That's Pat Jr. Who's he play? You got to say who he plays.
Christian.
Oh, he's playing Brockton Hall.
Yeah. Well, we need the owner name. Christian goes to 1-3. You're saying Pat goes to 4-0. Wow. All right.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Big Daddy, I think is gonna I think you're onto something with Johnny getting lost in the woods. I think you'll go to 3-1. Johnny
goes to 2-2. Yep.
David's just had so much bad luck, and he's an underdog against Matt. Matt needs to win really bad, but I truly think his team stinks.
It does.
And I think
it does. It does. That's the second credible thing you've said on this episode.
Really bad.
And the last one, that's the second credible thing.
Second credible thing.
And the last game, somebody at some point, I guess, is going to have to beat Ryan, but there's no way. Matter of fact, I tell you what, if Andy,
this is Andy. Oh boy,
finds a way to win the league, I will make a apology on this podcast to him next time I come on.
Well, you might not be back, but that's fine.
Take you up on that offer.
That's my 5.
Okay, so let's go through them real quick. So Andy, Ryan wins, David wins, Pat Jr. wins, I win, and you win.
That's correct.
Okay, great. We'll come back to that. I'll watch the episode. I'll write notes, and we'll see how that works out. So this officially is the longest episode we've had, but it's been, I think, one of the most productive because we found out a lot about some of the the controversies, and I think we've settled one of them. We just got to get Pat Jr. on the call now. So, Christian, this was supposed to be your segment, even though we had production issues because of the lab or the Wi-Fi. But this is a new segment that I wanted to start, and this is for Christian. So, if you guys could just sit by the wayside if you want to chime in at the end.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You can't get me off the air. You guys made accusations of Maddie and my son Michael and myself a conspiracy to help those kids during drafts. And
right. Yeah,
Just Maddie. I don't think Mikey.
On the question. So, again, if you want to ask me that question, I'd like to answer it.
You asked yourself, so why don't you answer it?
Okay. Well, first off, let me just say that I do remember the early days, and first off, I really think it's not good of the commissioner to use Jack Fatone as a witness.
That's fair, and I haven't. I don't have him here because. Yep.
Hold on. You've heard some of the stories that this kid's brain concocts. I love the kid. Don't get me wrong, but he comes from Darren, who we've all seen him make the bogey and tell everybody.
Let's stay on. So you're getting confused. Stay on track.
Because he's one of the so-called witnesses you had that confirmed it 1,000% the whole thing. But it's like
that was Andy's comment.
Guilty.
That was Andy's comment. So
right.
The question is,
I knew the risk of Jack up by my side.
The question is, did you help your boys with the team?
The worst thing, I never ever gave any of those kids any picks to use in their league. I tried to show them, and Matty was like 9, that he needed a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, but never told him who to pick. I think Mikey might have told Matty who to pick when he was like 9, or Jack, but they were like 9 years old. But I did one time, and I will admit it, and some of you saw me, I did mouth a pick. I tried to mouth a pick to Matty at one of your early drafts at your house when I wasn't in the league, but Matty did not take the guy I tried to mouth to him. So that puts the truth to that.
Okay, so I appreciate it. I don't know how valid that is, but let me ask you one more question related to the early days. The Pop Warner League that Matty was in. What number jersey did he wear? 22, right?
Matty wore number 22.
Yep. Okay. So that's been a witness. A witness testified to that he walked into the draft in his uniform in a league where he was in 6th grade and he played against 3rd graders. Is that true?
Well, David, let me just say this:
Is that true? Is that true or not?
I had to deal with the same stuff when I was in high school playing football as a senior. I was 16. There were guys that were 18, 19 playing in high school.
You got 19-year-old
I was 16. So he just played with kids his age, regardless of the grade they were in. Yes.
Okay.
So he played with kids his age because he really should have been a great. This is one of the things I argue with Stacy about back in the day. I should have kept all those kids back a year. They all could have got an extra year in, and would have helped with their sports.
Well, it couldn't hurt.
I know what it was
right?
like. Again, I was 16 my senior year playing football. 16. I was 130 pounds. How'd that help?
Yeah, well, and you didn't have much ability, so you're smaller and you're not an athlete.
I had ability. A lot of ability.
Too.
A lot of ability.
Okay.
A lot of ability.
Okay. So now I appreciate you clearing that up.
These guys have seen me play at 62 years old. The diving catches I'm making off of your erratic
base hit machine.
Base hit machine. But how about football? How about the no gloves diving catches?
Yeah, soft hands.
Yeah.
Soft. I never drop a ball.
Nope. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for clearing that up.
I one more thing. I'm going to get off the air.
That's fine. You can stay.
You have a lot going on. But I see this show, not only going, whether you connect with the NFL or ESPN or whatever organization you decide to partner up with, this is not only going to be in this country because American football is becoming a global sport. So I like what you're doing. You keep doing it. All right. And I'm happy to come in the studio, hopefully one of these days, if you want to send me a car.
Okay.
Gotta build the budget first.
Okay. Well, I appreciate having you. Thank you. You're welcome to stay on for the next segment, and if you want to chime in at the end, that's fine. So it's
how long is that?
5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So
How's that?
Okay, so it was this. I'll have a segment for you, Gar, when I know you're going to be on the call and I can write out my notes. Right. This I was anticipating having
I told you.
Christian on the. I know, but in this format, it's difficult. So
Well,
the new segment.
listen, I love Christian. I think he's a good owner. I think he's a smart owner. But you're not getting ratings.
Let me ask you: Is Christian is Christian overrated as an owner? Is he overrated?
No, I think he's really tough. Good
Okay.
drafter. I think he's a smart kid. I think he, I just don't think you're gonna get ratings.
Well, just wait for this next segment. Wait for this next segment. All right. So. Okay. So the next segment.
Ratings need controversy. I have controversy. I feel like there's a lot of attack going on here. Weeks 1 and segments 1 or seasons 1, episodes 1 and 2.
I'm gonna
I
have
haven't got
you
a chance
on.
to even voice.
I'm gonna. I think, like I said, you answered those questions. I'm gonna have you on, just you, in studio whenever you can get over here, and we'll talk through it. But
All
again, I think you've
All
checked
right.
some of the boxes, as I mentioned earlier in the episode. Christian, let me.
That's not
Yep.
kind of a tax that were levied from the.
Well, we're gonna get again.
Your microphone and the other.
Come into the studio. We can sit and talk. There's a gift waiting for you when you come into the studio. I'm not going to tell you about it, but it's a gift. You got a question, Andy?
All right.
Yeah, I just want to clear something up. The number one perpetrator of bashing you, Uncle Gary, was your son, Matty.
Well,
Exactly.
again, Andy,
And Mikey.
I tried
And
to show
Mikey.
you guys. You have to see how the host, manipulates the.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
Matt.
come in the
Matty-
studio then. Come into the studio
Matty has
and we can
wit.
talk about it.
I'm
Yep.
coming to the studio.
Okay.
I'll hit you.
Okay. So let me
All right,
let me
anyway,
try
if I
to
go
let me
5-0,
try to
I
get, Yep. Okay. Yep. Let me try to get through this segment without people chiming in.
Yeah.
So Christian,
I won't
it's
say
called
another word.
Let's Get Personal with Chi-Chi. So first Christian,
Not
I
looking
want to
forward
get
to
some.
this.
There's been some. And Christian, you got to talk. I got to talk because of the echo. I'm going to smash your head in. You tell us a little bit about your team name and how you got that team name.
Oh.
Chat GPT.
What?
What? Your team name is Gut Sludge.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh,
he's got a different team name
gut
now.
sludge comes from my gut having sludge. Have a bad history of not so great health in the gut, stomach tract from the family.
And what brings that on?
Fat, beer.
That's like.
Okay. I thought it was the bagels
Rock and
and the
Hall.
Coronas.
Quote from the doctor.
Personally, Christian,
I'll just say the quote from the doctor was, "It's not the bagels and the bread; it's what goes on the bagels and the bread."
Okay.
That's bullshit.
All right, go see the doctor. I literally got that from.
Christian.
Bagels themselves are poison to your system. Poison.
Okay.
Bagels are poison.
I don't even eat that many bagels anymore. I don't live in New Jersey, New York. The bagels here are not good.
Would you agree with that?
Okay.
Would you agree with that, though? That the bagel break down.
It's one of the worst things you could do to start your day. But every
that's what
time
I'm
I
saying.
visit New Jersey, I'm getting a pork roll, egg and cheese on an everything bagel. It's what's happening.
Well,
There
that's
you
fine. That's fine.
Yep.
I don't care. But I'm just throwing out facts.
Christian, some big news. Tell us engagement. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in your personal life. I know you're engaged now, right? You've been engaged for how long?
We've been engaged for 2 years.
6 years.
We're actually looking at wedding venues next month. So
Ooh.
our
Setting a
timeline
date.
will be determined pretty soon. We're going to be looking at venues, and depending on their availability, we'll book a date.
Make sure you.
Okay, and just so
Make sure
you
you and
know,
Mike don't pick.
that's what I was going to go over. Mikey and Ro, who I've already talked about earlier, they're looking at a date. I want to say November of next year. Christian?
Yes.
Yeah, that
There you go.
sounds.
So just coordinate with Mikey and Roe. That's all.
Yeah. We'll do what we need to.
good.
But, I
Okay.
mean, if we book it November
Yeah.
1st, kind of first come, first serve. That's what happened
You
with
mean-
Dave and V.
You mean November 1st? You mean November 1st or?
No, first come, first
Or-
serve.
Well, you might just want to coordinate with him. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And school, what's going on in school? What are you working on now?
I'm working on my PhD dissertation. I'm about 60% done with the writing, and I should be set to graduate in December.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And what? There he is. There's the lab work. Who's your favorite cousin, Christian? Why?
No comment.
Okay. If you could date one famous person, who would it be and why?
Ooh. The chick from the new Star Wars.
What?
What?
No,
Natalie
Daisy
Portman?
Ridley, I think.
I don't know who that is. Who's Daisy Ridley?
Who the fuck is Daisy Ridley?
Oh, come on with the language.
I'm sorry. Thought it
Gary,
was
you know who
warranted.
Daisy Ridley is?
I was going to say Kate Hudson.
Well, all right. Well, that's
That's a
Kate
little
Hudson
old.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm 63. See, I'm 63. I like Kate Hudson.
All
I
right,
like Kate
Kate
Hudson. That's perfect.
Christian, favorite war?
Personally, a big fan of the War of 1812, where we got our Star Spangled Banner from. Don't shake your head, Andrew. This country would be
Terrible
nothing without
Oh.
the War of 1812.
Why don't we ask you like we asked Andy and a couple other people? Favorite natural disaster?
This
the
is
best
a
one.
great question. Specific natural disaster, not like a generic
Natural
tornado,
disaster.
hurricane.
An event that occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it has to be an event. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with, Pearl Harbor, because it got us into World War II.
Oh, that's not
Ooh.
natural.
What?
That's not
What?
natural.
What?
Oh. Yeah, and that's not natural. That's not. That's a.
It's not a natural. That's a human inflicted disaster.
Yeah, you're right.
Christian, mute because I'm getting
Oh.
echo. But Pearl Harbor, it's not a. Andy's point. It's not a natural
What an awful
disaster.
answer.
Got us into World War II. Right, a million people dead. And
It would have been
it
worse
was,
if we didn't join.
I'll say it was the first. Yeah, but I'll even say well, not the first because I'll go to Revolutionary War. Second attack on U.S. soil, I guess. Right? If you want to say Revolutionary War is the first, if we weren't the United States, but
You're forgetting about my favorite war, the War of 1812.
okay. Oh, that's true. Okay, but we weren't. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You know what? I fully agree with what Uncle Gary said earlier about the ratings.
Huh.
He didn't even say Hiroshima. He said Pearl Harbor.
I know.
Don't take what Andy just said the wrong way.
Both of which,
Christians
there were
are
bad answers. It was a bad answer. It was a
Great
bad answer.
fantasy owner.
smartest person in the smartest person in the league. He's a good manager. I don't think he's going to win anything, but problem is that there's no controversy coming out. I mean, you want ratings? We got to start calling each other names.
Well, it's not
Tell
what
each
this.
other. I mean,
That's
your
not what
ratings.
this.
What did you do? Week one.
I'm trying to give stupid answers
Pearl
for the
Harbor might
ratings,
help
but
with
you're
that.
you're
You call
calling it out.
people-
You're bringing
you
it to
call
the
people-
forefront.
You allege people to be mentally incompetent.
I didn't
You
allege
accuse people of
anybody.
cheating.
I didn't allege
No,
anybody.
those
Your
are the things
son,
that-
both your
Whether or
sons,
not his balls are blue, who cares?
both your sons, and I have it on tape. Maddie questioned your mental capacity.
They were led.
And-
They were led.
Okay, well, go watch episode 1 and 2 and 3 again.
Is there
Anyway,
anything
so
else?
there we
I
are.
got
So good luck,
important
everybody,
matters
this
in the
week.
lab to get to.
Oh, sorry, your lab tests are done at 7:30. Yeah, sorry, Christian. You can drop. Thanks for joining
Let's
us.
go to what,
We'll get you in studio when you're back home, and good luck on the date. Let me know when it is because we'll be there. You guys can do Friday, Saturday. I don't care. I'll go to both weddings. Doesn't matter to me. Right?
I think Christian's second favorite natural disaster is D-Day.
I guess so. Right. Anyway, thanks
I
for
can't
joining,
answer
Garrett.
that.
Thanks for joining. Have to have you in studio.
Thanks for having me.
Christian, take care of yourself. You can drop with the echo. You got it, buddy.
Bishop,
Have
Am I
take
still on?
care. Nope.